For me, decolonizing does not mean cancelling. In fact, decolonizing is a form of immanent critique. So, for example, decolonizing psychoanalysis entails critiquing its colonial logics using the language of psychoanalysis, in an effort to draw out the radical potential of the field. This potential can sometimes be occluded by historical or cultural contingencies that end up damaging the theory and the practice from within. This damage can be clearly seen in terms of ongoing ethical breaches, whether in the clinic or across psychoanalytic institutions. I try to theorize this damage, not from a Eurocentric perspective, but from a global, Southern perspective. Therefore, my approach to psychoanalysis is not dismissive, but rather sublating. My strategy as a researcher is twofold. First, I use Freudo-Lacanian psychoanalysis to both critique psychology and theorize oppressed subjectivity. Then, I use decoloniality to keep psychoanalysis in check. That is my methodological approach in a few words. However, in my work, I also draw on silenced historical accounts, particularly of racial capitalism as a modern world system. We are the effects of this history, i.e., hypercolonization since 1492. Coloniality as a concept signifies the psychic remainder of any form of colonialism. This is why it is relevant to ask questions about the historical conditions for the so-called birth of psychology in 1879, or the invention of psychoanalysis in 1895. One such condition is New Imperialism, 1881, 1914, or the Scramble for Africa. In this period, the majority of the African continent, by the early 20th century, was colonized and controlled by a handful of European powers. This historical condition, and other ones, provided Euro-modern psychologists and psychoanalysts with a colonially embedded theoretical framework about who is civilized and who is primitive or barbarian, and why, for example.